Tangent. Okay, tangent 40. Good. Tangent with an angle. Always. That you wouldn't have a case of just tangent equals something, sine equals something, cosine equals something. There's no such thing. It always comes with an angle. Alright, so tangent 40 degrees equals to opposite. So with reference from 40 degrees, 9 is our opposite. So 9 over, and our adjacent will be x. Okay, good. And what do we do after that? Nine equals to tangent 40 times x. Good. So the entire thing multiplied by x. And then? Nine over tangent 40 degrees. Okay, excellent. So the steps are all correct. And now the final step is just to find out in our calculator the value of 9 divided by tangent 40.
10.725.
So we have to put it in 3s, 10.7. Right? So basic trigonometry over here on how to form an equation with only the opposite and the adjacent and one angle that is given. So question 13, who should do question 13? Yes? Wang Fan? Yeah, just now you were randomly chosen. Yeah, really. Really? Class, you was randomly chosen, right? No? Then Rian, you do it? No? No, Wang Wei is 37. Okay, Wang Fan. This was our homework question. Please help us with this. Yep. Sine 50. So we write down the equation, sine 50 degrees. So again, it is always sine of an angle. So sine 50, what do we have? 12, because opposite, our 12 is our opposite over BD, which is what they want us to find. So form an equation with the unknown. If the unknown doesn't exist in an equation, then it is a useless equation. Alright, so what do we do next? Sine 50 over 1. Okay, so he wants to put it as a fraction equal to fraction, which is quite different from what Chang Hui did. Chang Hui just take BD times sine 50. Okay, let's see what happens for Wang Fan. Do you say BD over 1? Swap. Okay, so what do you want me to write next? BD over 1. Okay. How did this happen? You swap over. So you mean these two just change places? Yes, who did I say these two yesterday? Can't remember who I said this to, but this works in this case. This swapping works in this case. Yeah, but it is actually still the same as what Chang Hui did. Okay, so from here, in fact, you also didn't need the over 1. You will still get the same answer. Okay, what's next? Divided by sine 50. So BD 15.664. Which part do you understand? Cannot be every part. Okay, Ziguan and Aloysius, do you understand this first step? Okay, so what happens next? You forget about the swapping portion, which may be quite confusing. Just put it over 1, draw your arrows, and you will end up with BD sine 50 equals to 12. Right? And then BD is just 12 over sine 50 degrees. And then you can answer. Okay, so what Wang Fan did, right, was to swap these two positions, sine 50 and BD. So they changed position. Okay, so Wang Fan has helped us for the first part already. Let us find another student. Okay. 33. What was 33? Who is 33? Reese. Okay, another one. Hey. 34. Ziguan. So it was perfectly random, huh? Okay, part B. AD. Because we have the adjacent and we want to find the hypotenuse. Okay, then cosine what? Cosine 20 degrees, yes, always have an angle equals to? Right, which one is the adjacent? Good, 15.664. And what is the hypotenuse? AD, correct. 15.7 will be inaccurate. Exactly the same? Yeah, sometimes it's the same, sometimes it's not the same. Yeah, but you cannot round off in the middle and then use the not accurate answer to go and carry on with your working. You have to use as accurate as you can. Then final answer, round off. Okay, so next, let's continue. Ziguan. Over 1, good. Cosine 20 over 1, then? Okay, so he didn't need the arrow already. AD cosine 20 degrees. Good. Next. Over? Okay, good. Then we just use our calculator for the answer. 15.664 divided by cosine 20. Oh, what happened? Small a or big A? You say, so shall I write a square plus b square equals c square?
Oh, no. You write 3 square minus 2 square equals 5 square, then you square root.
Wait. 3 square minus 2 square equals 5 square? Tell me what should be the first line. Aldrich, don't look at other people. What is your first line on your book? So you wrote Pythagoras theorem.
No, I put a square plus b square equals c square.
Plus b square equals c square like this? But there's no ABC in the question.
I make my own, I sub it.
Okay, then if you want to do that, then where is your A?
My A is C.
Your A is C.
What?
Which one is your A?
The confusion, wait.
No, don't confuse him.
AD is my C.
AD is your C. So sound confusing, right? AB is your C. Sound confusing? No. Okay, so you're referring to a small c over here, lah. Right? Okay, what else?
Then either one can be A or B.
Choose.
Let A is number 2 meters.
So A will be our 2 meters. And
So C minus A.
so meaning this will be your B lah, right? Okay, so my point over here is that yes, you memorize Pythagoras theorem as A squared plus B squared equals C squared. But when the question itself already has A, B, C, it may be confusing. Okay, especially if the question didn't use big A, big B, and big C. If the question used small a, small b, small c, then how? Then you cannot write down a squared plus b squared equals c squared anymore already, okay? So the best way actually is to just substitute in value. Okay, which one is your, just now you mentioned your a is 2, right? So just write 2 squared. Oh, okay. 3 squared minus 2 squared. What should this give me? Who say vulgarity?
B squared.
Okay, yeah. So what should we get? How you know 5 squared? You mean this 3 squared minus 2 squared equal to 5 squared? L3.
Guys, shut up, guys.
Five, right? Not 5 squared, huh? Okay, so this is equal to 5. Now, what does this 5 represent? Are you sure 5 equals to CB? Okay. Why? Why is it so confusing? Because no. Guys, class. Look up. Why is this so confusing? Because you're not writing down the correct substitution for Pythagoras. Okay, Tzu Guan, can you say it one more time? Can you say it one more time? AC squared plus CB squared equals to AB squared. Okay, look at what is in red. Eldrick, you see what's in red? Is that Pythagoras theorem? No, you can answer it yourself. Yes, it is Pythagoras theorem. Now with this, we do the substitution. AC, we have 2 squared plus, we don't know this value. And this is equal to 3 squared. Make CB squared the subject. Two point 2.2361. 2.24 lah. Okay? Which part do you understand? So go on, help him. Find which one? Tangent 35 degrees. Okay, correct? Equals to h over 3.5. Because h is our opposite, 3.5 is our adjacent. And what do we do next? Sorry, equals to what? Oh, bracket 3.5. Good. Okay, then calculate the answer. 2.4507. To the length times the breadth, which happens to be length also because it's a square. So length times breadth times height. Okay, so this is equal to actually L square H. That's the volume. They want this to be equal to 500. They want it to be 500. So you being the manufacturer, that is your only objective. I want to design it. Verify, okay? I want to design it so that the volume L times H equals to 500. So you get to choose what length you want it to be, what height you want it to be, as long as total volume 500. So you choose. Some of your friends have suggested L equals to 10. Sure, it will work. If L is equal to 10, then what is the value of H? You go and find out yourself. But what if I don't choose 10? What if I don't choose the length as 10? Can choose something else, alright? Nobody say it has to be 10. So what other numbers can we choose? No, it's not guess and check. It is to guess a number and find out the other value. So guess what number? 50? 50? Okay, so 5 and 100. Okay, wait. We only choose one number and we find out the other number. Okay, so Ziguan, you said 50, right? Do you want 50 to be the height or do you want 50 to be the length? If we choose 50 to be the length, then the volume will be 50 square times H, which is supposed to be 500. So 50 square is has a value of 2500 times H equals to 500. So H will have a value of 500 divided by 2500, which is 0.2 cm. A bit small. A bit too small. But I mean it works lah. Okay, but in real life you probably wouldn't want to make a container that is so thin. 0.2 cm only. Okay? So other suggestions. What if we choose the height instead to be 50? So if Ziguan change his mind, oh I want the height to be 50 instead, then what is going to happen? L square times 50 equals to 500. Then L square equals to 10. L equals to square root 10, which is root 10, which is 3.162. 3.16 cm. Okay, so the square base will be 3 cm, 3 cm, and then the height is 50 cm. So that's the container lah. So many different answers will be possible. Okay? Now, what about a cylinder? What is the volume? What is the formula for volume of a cylinder? Sorry? There are many answers for this. So I'm not going to fix one answer for you. The important thing is you know how to do it, know how to approach it using the formula. Okay? So the next one, cylinder. What is the volume of a cylinder given by? Okay, let's choose number 3. 1, 2, 3. Jasmine. What is the formula for volume of a cylinder? Volume of a cylinder? Base area times height. Okay, base area times height. I want something more specific. What do we have for the base area? What is the shape of the base? Circle. So what is the base? What's the formula for the area of a circle? Pi r square. So pi r square h. This is the formula for volume of a cylinder. So you get to choose what radius you want. What radius do you want? Anything. Let's say 4. Let's say the radius is 4 cm. Okay, then the volume, which is 5, we do the substitution. So pi 4 square times the h equals to 500. So if this is the case, then h equals to 500 divided by pi 4 square. And we get divided by 9.9472. So 9.95 cm. Okay, then with this, our volume becomes 9.95 times 16 pi. So my volume is 500.141. This is if I choose these dimensions. You get to choose. Instead of 4, you can choose, I don't know, 3.5, 5 cm, anything you like. Then you just find the other value. (500) divided by everything. 1/3 pi 4 square.
What is that?
2. Okay, so this is the radius and the height. The height came from the radius that Shamin chose. So let us find out the actual volume with these two values. So this gives me 499.30.
How you find it answer?
Hang on. I substitute lor. So the 4 goes in here and the height goes back here. So if the value is exact, we will get back exactly 500. But there is some rounding off. So we don't expect to get back exactly 500.